is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our mass making sessions. We are up to week number 153, would you believe? So we are doing reruns for those who don't kind of watch my channel regularly. So we are rerunning week number 53, week number 153. So what we are making this week is the, and they are inspired by Yvonne Preston. They are the paperclip, altered paperclip notepads, I think was what we called them. And yeah, so what you're going to need, and what I have brought along, is a bunch of paper that's either decorative or plain. It's completely up to you. I think in the last one, I think I made them all plain. So plain would work fine. I would recommend sort of slightly thicker paper. This, I think, is 200 GSM, most of this. And obviously this is all printables. That's just because that's what I have got most of these days. But you can use whatever you like. I have also got a sheet here of scrapbook paper. Again, it's the thicker variety. It's not that really thin, flimsy stuff. So that's going to be your kind of base for your notepad. You're then going to need some either coffee dyed paper, or, you know, I've got here my food colour papers and things, which is going to be your, you know, your actual pad pages. And then what you're going to need is some paper clips. Now I'm using the, let's just check, the 2-inch paper clips. So not the really massive ones, but the 2-inch paper clips. Again, you know, it's up to you. If you want them bigger, you could obviously use the giant ones. I wouldn't recommend the small ones. And then you may need your, you know, blendy tool or anything. You may want to have a corner rounder. It all just depends kind of what you want to do with your pieces. You may want to have a bone folder, but alternatively you can of course just use your scissor handles. That would be absolutely fine too. I personally am going to use hot glue because I think that's going to be, you know, the best way or the most efficient way to glue my paper clips, you know, to the pads. Again, you can use wet glue if you don't have a hot glue gun, but you will probably need to then, you know, put something heavy on it to actually squish it down and make sure it's actually glued. Aside from that, you may want to have some topper bits to decorate it with and things. Completely up to you, but I think that's pretty much all we're going to need. So let's get making some and see how we do these. So I'm going to take, first of all, this piece of paper here, which of course I've already, you know, partially used, and we're just going to cut it down to form our sort of base of our pad. So I'm going to take, I think, this section here, and yeah, I'm just going to cut it down here. Now, I have to say, there's a temptation to do these much bigger than you need, or for me there is. But yeah, it probably needs to be pretty small because, you know, my paper clip is only 2 inches. So, you know, at first I kind of put my scissors right over here. Of course, it doesn't need to be anywhere near that size. So I'm going to just tidy the top up like that. Okay. Now this just happens to be double-sided paper. Some I've printed double-sided, but you know, you don't have to have it double-sided. Okay, because you're not going to see the reverse of it really at all. I'm going to just squish that down like that. And I might just take my edge in slightly more. Okay. And then all we're going to do is put some pages in there. So obviously this has got, you know, it's a blue colour. So I might use some of my food coloured papers. I'm just going to fold those over there. And I'll just cut those down. Oops. Like that. I'm so sorry if it's really dark today. It's obviously about to chuck it down with rain, I think. It's gone really, really, really black outside. So I do apologise if the light is not very good. It's early in the morning. It's not even quite 7 o'clock. But yeah, it's, you know, it is daylight outside, but it's just, you know, it's just dark. I think it is going to, like I say, just storm in a minute. So, well, I don't know about storm, but rain at least. So that's my... Oh, the only other thing that I forgot to mention that you will need is you will need a stapler to staple your pad. So let's just tear my pages out. Oops, and again, I'm suspecting I've done this way, way, way too big. Okay, because obviously it's going to slot into there. So I'm just going to staple this together and then I will trim it down afterwards. So just put a couple of staples at the top, like that. And then I can just cut it down like that. And I'm just going to tear the bottom bit off. Like that. And then I think I need to probably just take this in slightly on the edge. And of course, this is why other people do measure, and then they don't have all this mucking about. So then all I'm going to do is turn this over where I've folded the top flap down. And I'm going to put this up here like that. Okay. So this is where I'm going to use my hot glue, because it's going to be really quick and instant. If I didn't use hot glue, you know, I'd have a situation where I'm going to have to be pressing this in. But I think it would be fine. But yeah, I just kind of, where I'm doing a video, obviously, I don't want to have to do that. Then I'm going to take my paper clip and just slot my paper clip over the folded edge. And then the whole thing is going to go down there. And this for me is another sort of time where the hot glue is just preferable to wet glue, is because it's going to instantly glue that together. So all I'm going to do is just pop, whoops, sorry, I've got my flower trims there all caught up on my hot glue gun. All I'm going to do is go round that whole flap like that with the hot glue, and then just go over like that. And that way I know that whole thing is just glued together. Like I say, you could do that with wet glue, but you're going to have to probably leave it for a while with, you know, kind of something heavy just stood on it just to get it to dry. But that's all there is to them. Aren't they just gorgeous? And then of course that would clip onto your page like that. And then when you take it off, you've obviously got your little pad on the back. I mean, they're just gorgeous, aren't they? Totally not my idea. Like I say, inspired completely by Yvonne Preston. So I will link her video below. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. Okay. So I'm going to run you through that again. Just one more time. I mean, obviously they're not, you know, they're not kind of rocket science or anything like that. But I think it is helpful when you go through things a couple of times. So this section here, I could probably get 2 out of here. So just cut that like that. Cut it across here. And there as well. I'm just going to check, yep. So I'm just going to fold the top over to get that little bit where the paper clip is going to go. Squish that down with my scissor handle. Okay, I don't think I did that particularly straight, but never mind. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better now. And then again, just going to use my blue food coloured paper to make my little flippy pad there. And I find just, you know, fold it kind of into like 3 roughly. Like that. And this will give me enough then for 2 pads. Again, I'm kind of trying to do this in a sort of, you know, fast method. But yeah, I mean, obviously you could kind of just fold your pages individually, but this is just kind of to speed it up really. So like that. And obviously I'm using 3 pages per flippy pad. Okay, so that's going to just go on there. Again, I could probably do with coming down slightly more. So I'm just going to tear that across here for my bottom edge. And we can just staple it across the top. Okay, and then just trim that in at the sides. just because I don't want it overhanging my, you know, the front section at all. So like that, and that will just slot into there. So I probably need to just tear this down slightly more. Again, just so it's not hanging out beneath there. So, oops, like that. Okay, get rid of those bits from there. Sorry, I've got threads hanging everywhere. So again, just open this out, and you're gluing it kind of, you know, up near the flap. Now, I think last time I made these, I did leave a bit more of a space, you know, between the flap and the pad. I don't think it really matters too much, so you're just going to end up with slightly bulkier top piece, but that's fine. I'm just doing that because I haven't really got room on these to leave more of a space. But yeah, I mean, if I'd started with a bigger piece of paper, I would have more room to be able to have them slightly lower, but it doesn't matter. And maybe we'll do something like that in a minute. So again, just take my hot glue around and just press that down there. I did have somebody message me the other day asking what hot glue gun I use. Now, I always use this hot glue gun. It's a Bosch, oh gosh, what does that say? 19E, I think. I think that's PKP. Oh, it might be an 18E. Let me just poke it up so as you can see it. I've had a few of these. I tend to replace it about every, I don't know, year and a bit or something like that. Because things end up breaking on it. Although that sounds quite frequent, I mean, I have it plugged in, you know, every single day. It's on at some point every single day. So actually, I don't think that's too bad, that it needs replacing kind of about once a year, because I would say it has very heavy use. But it's a brilliant gun. It's got quite a slim nozzle and things, and yeah, just absolutely love it. And I do nowadays use the Bosch glue sticks, although they're not the cheapest. I have found that when I use the other ones, they sometimes don't stick properly and things like that. So yeah, and I get it all from Amazon. It's all linked in my Amazon storefront, which should be linked below the video. But I just wanted to mention that because yeah, I did have somebody message the other day saying which is the hot glue gun that I use. So that's the one. Obviously I'm not on commission or anything like that, but I just really, sorry, I'm just grabbing some extra pages from beside me. I just really love that glue gun, and yeah, I just really would recommend it. I have tried a different one, only once actually, because I just straight away I just thought, oh, that's just rubbish compared to this one. You know, because most of them don't have such a sort of slim nozzle, so that's why I really particularly like this one. It's quite slim, and it's quite a long nozzle that you can kind of then get into sort of finer areas. Right, okay, so let's make a third one. So just again to show you, so we're going to fold the top over like that, squish it down, take my little flippy pad, again just glue this together, glue, staple even, staple that together. I'm going to trim it down slightly at the edges. I mean, I think it is fine, but we don't want it overhanging at all. And then just going to tear the bottom across there, like that. Take it in on the side slightly, like that, okay. That's it. And then glue this on. Oh, I'm so sorry. It seems to be getting actually even darker, so I do apologise for this. Oh, I would put my light on, but I think I will then just get so many shadows because it's literally kind of above me, and I don't think that will be very helpful. You know, because I think the shadows will probably be worse than the dim light. So, like that. And then take your hot glue. And just again, glue that whole thing down like that. Okay, that's it. That's all there is to them. So I mean, they're very simple, They're so cute, aren't they? And of course then you can decorate the front up and things like that. So yeah, so we're just going to kind of do a mass make style now. So like in an assembly line style, where I'm just going to fold the sort of bases, make the little flippy pads, and then assemble them, you know, in a sort of assembly line style. So each part of the process, you know, individually. And yeah, we can just relax, have a nice time now, and just enjoy ourselves doing a bit of crafting. So just going to bring in a few papers. So okay, so this is my Pink Lady papers, by the way, and on the back I've backed it onto my header pieces. So I'm going to use kind of similar for this, and this purple page is from the Myrtle Cottage kit. So in case you were wondering what, you know, what I'm using. So I'm just going to cut them down here. So yeah, hope everybody is having a good start to their week. As usual, I'm filming this on the Monday, but like I say, I'm actually filming it super early today. So yeah, it's not quite 7 o'clock, or it might just be about 7 o'clock now. So everyone's still asleep except for my daughter, who is up. But yeah, my son, well, I mean, he's going to work, but I've heard him snoozing his alarm several times. So he'll suddenly be getting up in a minute and stumbling around, you know. He tends to do that. He's not necessarily a morning person. Yeah, it takes him a while to actually get in the zone and kind of get up. But yeah, you may hear him stumbling about in a minute when he finally gets up. And then my middle son, he's also going to work today, but he's not going till a bit later, so he won't be probably up the whole time that we're filming, I would imagine. But yeah, but it's the summer holidays at the moment, so obviously, you know, my daughter and my middle son, he's just you know, finished his GCSEs, so he's now on school holidays. He's hoping to do A-levels. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. My daughter, obviously, she is on school holidays now. Let me just see what other papers that we want to use. So, and I'm filming this super early today because I'm going to be going away for a couple of days with my daughter and my sister and her son. So we are setting off this morning at 10 o'clock. We're just going away for a couple of days. So yeah, need to kind of obviously crack on and do my video extra early, because I would normally be filming it after the school run, so about 9 o'clock, well, about 9:30. So yeah, I just needed to kind of come and quickly do it before going away. So I thought, well, let's just quickly do it now. I can't decide where to cut this. This is my spring gallery, I think, this one. Yeah, just trying to decide where I want to cut it to get kind of the best section of the flowers still. Maybe like that. Yeah, so my sister's coming at 10 o'clock and we're setting off at 10 o'clock. So I just needed to kind of, you know, make sure I'm ready by 10. So I thought, well, I'll quickly do my video. And then I can obviously shower and get ready. I mean, that's the problem with the school holidays, isn't it? You know, they're not, you know, you're not in your routine, are you? So I'm just going to have another sip of my tea. Okay. Right. Okay. So let's fold these tops over. So what have I been up to since last week? Oh, not a lot, I think. So just trying to think. Well, probably quite a bit, but yeah, trying to actually remember what we've been up to. We've been to the beach a few times. It's been nice weather over here. So yeah. Well, actually, no, I don't think it has been nice weather. I'm just reflecting now over the week. I think actually we only went to the beach one day because actually, yeah, now I'm thinking about it, I think the weather was not that brilliant. Yeah, the heat wave that we were supposed to be having didn't appear to happen. So, yeah, it's actually not been that great. And so I'm now trying to think, what have we been doing? yeah, not a great deal, to be perfectly honest. So, I mean, I've mainly been working and, you know, just trying to kind of work in the mornings and then, you know, get finished quite early so that I can then hang out, you know, with my daughter. But we've not really done anything very exciting, you know, other than that, because the weather's not been great. So, yeah, I think we've just been... I think we've been for a couple of bike rides. And when I say bike rides, I mean, seriously, they're not even worthy of the name bike ride, really. We've literally biked, you know, kind of down to the range, you know, the shop that obviously I, you know, took you guys shopping to. We've been there just because I needed some bits and pieces from there. We've been to Costa a couple of times on our bikes, you know, just, yeah, really like lame bike rides, you know. I mean, obviously all those things, they're just like about a, you know, 10-minute bike ride, probably not even a 10-minute bike ride. So definitely not really worthy of the name or of the word, you know, bike ride. They have been, yeah, probably not really what a lot of people would even consider bike riding, you know. But that's the type of bike rides that we've been doing. So, yeah, we've done that a couple of times. That's been okay. Yesterday, my daughter saw her dad and, yeah, I just hung out with the boys for the day. And we went to a lovely outdoor cafe, which is quite local to us. And, oh, we just had the nicest time there. And we hung out there, like, for the whole afternoon. Well, I say the whole afternoon, you know, a couple of hours probably. Oh, just absolutely lovely. So, yeah, it was kind of sunny, but not, you know, not really sunny. It wasn't kind of like a beach day particularly. But, yeah, it was too nice to obviously just not do anything outdoorsy. So that's what we did yesterday. And, sorry, I'm just trying to kind of get some bits for flippy pads here. So, yeah, we had a really nice time just doing that. And then that was about it, really. But that was the whole day. I mean, because obviously the boys, you know, being kind of teenagers, they don't really get up particularly early, it's got to be said. So there normally involves a lot of waiting around for them to actually be ready to go. And then just as you think you are ready, you know, they disappear off again. So, yes, that was yesterday. I'm trying to think Saturday. Oh, Saturday my daughter went to a birthday party. So she had a good time obviously there. Yeah, I think that's kind of it really. You know, not done anything exciting at all. You know, yeah, I'm one of those just really rubbishy people for not really kind of making plans. And I should really make plans, to be honest, because, you know, it's a bit of a rubbish quality of mine. But to be honest, I find it just difficult to actually commit myself to things. I know that just sounds a terrible thing to say, but yeah, I don't think I like kind of overly committing myself to things. So I find myself thinking, oh, you know, I'll text you nearer the time. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, well, it is that day now. And of course, then people are already busy because other people do make plans. But yeah, I must get better. That's definitely a weak spot of mine, is the inability to actually make plans. Okay. So just putting our pads together. So I'm going to have to do a bit of a shorter video today, I'm afraid. You know, the mass making ones, we normally do quite long videos, but my phone, which I thought had been on charge overnight, actually turned out wasn't on charge overnight. So it's already saying low battery. So I do apologise for this. It's very frustrating. I'd bought some new chargers from Amazon because, you know, I don't know about you guys, but my chargers seem to disappear. You know, everyone obviously has an something. Well, my daughter doesn't, but, you know, the boys, they have their iPhones and things. And then before you know it, your chargers have disappeared. So, And they say the same things, weirdly. But yeah, so I ordered some new chargers from Amazon, but they're not official eye chargers or whatever. And I don't think they're brilliant. You obviously have to be particularly careful making sure that your pieces are, or your ends are plugged in properly. Because I've been caught out now a couple of times where I thought I've charged things, only to find then I haven't. So this was another one of those times. So I do apologise, but yeah, we're going to have a short video because my phone is now already flashing low battery. Just heard my son get up now. So obviously on his, getting ready for work now. I mean, to be honest, it's probably best that I'm just doing a short video anyway, because as you can probably tell, I have not had breakfast today. And honestly, it just makes such a difference to my ability to concentrate. But I mean, 7 o'clock's a bit early for me to be having breakfast. So, I didn't want to have my breakfast this early. But yeah, of course, now I'm not quite feeling able to concentrate properly. So I'm probably sparing you all my scatty, scatty behaviour. So, okay. Yeah, it's quite shocking the difference it makes. I know I've said this loads of times before, but, if you've not had anything to eat, it's a massive, massive difference. I never used to kind of think it made much difference, but yeah, and whether it makes more difference for some people than others, I'm not sure. But I mean, my middle son, he's terrible for not having breakfast, and through his GCSEs, when he was doing his exams, he kept just not having breakfast, and I kept saying to him, you need to have breakfast. You're not going to be able to concentrate in your exams without breakfast. But, of course they won't let you tell them, will they? So, invariably, he just did what he wanted to do. And, that probably was not really having breakfast. So, I dread to think, really. I hope that he can concentrate slightly better than I can. But I think, you need the fuel, don't you, to be able to actually concentrate and to be able to, get some sort of brain power going. But like I say, I don't know whether it affects some people differently, because maybe if you're somebody who doesn't really have breakfast, perhaps your brain is then used to operating on empty and doesn't need the fuel so much. I don't know. But yeah, definitely for me, it's a massive difference if I've eaten or not eaten. So it's kind of an essential part of my ability to concentrate. So I'm probably going to have to do just these ones because I am conscious of my phone, flashing low battery. So I'm going to keep these and obviously finish these off, later or after the video. So all I'm going to do here is just glue my pads in. So I'm just hearing my son ask Alexa, what's the weather today? She's just said it's 16 degrees today. Or she might be saying 16 degrees right now. Maybe it's going to improve as the day goes by, I don't know. But yeah. Okie dokie. Yeah, I don't really know what's happened to our heat wave. I mean, I was obviously complaining a couple of weeks ago because it was so hot. And now, of course, it's sort of rubbish, really. I mean, looking out there now, you would never even know it was summer. It's really grey and really awful. Oh, on Saturday, on Friday, I washed my daughter's hair. And I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, but I had cut my daughter's hair. She's got really curly hair, and I've talked about this loads of times, so I'm so sorry to bore you all again with this, but I have to kind of repeat myself just in case people haven't watched me previously and don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, she's got this curly hair. It's a nightmare. But before our holiday, she desperately wanted to have it shorter. She begged me, please cut it, please cut it. So I cut it a little bit, and touch wood, it was so much better. It just made such a difference. And we also got her this wet hairbrush. It's called a wet hairbrush from Amazon. Again, I'd seen it on YouTube, a few people recommending it, and I thought, oh, let's try that. and touch wood, that and the haircut made a massive difference. So it was brilliant. So we washed her hair on Friday, and of course what's happened is, you know, that was, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago. So her hair's grown a bit now, and, you know, already in just that short time, it's grown enough to now be getting tangly again. So I said to her, well, you know, I think perhaps I need to trim it again because it's already now coming to the point where it's quite tangly again. So she said, yeah, that's fine. So we trimmed it again on Friday. And it all looked fine. It, you know, was, yeah, looking okay and, you know, all good. So on Saturday, got time for the party. And I said to her, oh, you know, pop upstairs and, you know, put your dress on and things. So she did. And then she came downstairs to me and she said, oh, do you like my hair, Mum? I've just done my hair. Well, she's got this special kind of lotion stuff that we put in her hair that, you know, enables you to get any form of, you know, control over it, I suppose. So she'd put all that stuff in it. Well, that stuff, it's like a sort of conditioner-y stuff, a spray form, and of course it makes it look a bit wet. So you couldn't really kind of tell, because her hair then will ping up, you know, as it dries, it will ping up, you know, where it's drying, the curls will kind of take it up. So you couldn't really tell that much. Anyway, I said, yeah, oh yeah, you know, that looks nice. When I went upstairs then to get my shoes ready to take her to the party, I noticed beside my mirror in my bedroom a massive clump of her hair, like masses of it, you know, in a pile. And I thought, I don't believe it. She's cut her hair again. So when I went back downstairs, you know, she was just eating her lunch, you know, ready to go. And I said to her, did you cut your hair? She said, no. I said, are you sure you didn't cut your hair? Because there's a lot of your hair on, you know, on the floor beside the mirror. And she said, oh, I did cut my hair, yeah. Well, of course, what happened then was her hair that, you know, you couldn't really tell it had been cut or anything while it was wet with this spray stuff. Oh, my goodness. In the course of, obviously, the afternoon, it dried, it pinged up. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. One side is right up here, one side's down here. It looks awful. So when she went to bed on Saturday night, she got up on Sunday morning. Wow, it looked like, well, I don't know what it looked like. My son said, oh, it looked a bit like a mushroom. And that's probably quite a good description, because it just like was really poofy and pinged out. Because, of course, now it's, you know, pretty short in places. Of course, it's got no weight hanging it, you know, pulling it down. So the curls are really big and really like, oh my goodness, everywhere. Plus, it's just so lopsided. You know, one side is really, really short. So I don't want to cut the other side to match it, because she'd end up having like really short hair. So I said, oh my goodness, have you seen your hair today? It looks appalling. So she said, oh, I like it. I said, it looks awful. I said, you know, you're just going to look terrible when you go out. She said to me, oh, Mum, I don't care what people think. Oh, what can you say to that, to be honest? I mean, good for her for being like that. But, oh, just mortified. Because it had looked really pretty on Friday night. And, you know, I don't know what came over her, to be honest. I said about it to my older son, and he just said, oh, Mum, that's what girls do. They do cut their hair. I mean, he's probably right, but oh my goodness, it looked terrible. Well, looks terrible. Let's use present tense because it's still looking terrible now. So yeah, when she just got up just before I did the video, I said to her, we're going to have to wash your hair again this morning, you know, to try and make it look a bit better now you've cut it. So, what a nightmare. Right, okay, so we have completed, oh my gosh, terrible, terrible job of that one. So, oh, I think I made it even worse. Not good cutting today. Again, this is probably because I've not eaten anything. Oh my goodness. Every time I cut this, I'm actually making it worse. Oh, going to end up with none left in a minute, so best stop. Right. And obviously, like I say, we can round the corners and things like that. So I'm just going to round these corners here. Probably should have done that before actually, you know, putting the pads in order, but you know, doesn't really matter. I can do that now. So, I mean, they're pretty, aren't they? Might not round all the corners, maybe just have some and some. Right, so let's now decorate one up. And I've brought along some of my Country Cottages printable because I thought that would look rather pretty on the front. So, yeah, let's just take this, I think. Yeah, actually I might do one of these, I think. So I'll just cut this out. Anyway, so yeah, not really good, but just, you know, girls will be girls. But hey, I mean, it was the fact that she then said, you know, when I said, have you cut your hair? And she said, no. I had to then say, well, are you sure you haven't? Because there was a lot of your hair, you know, on the floor by my mirror. Oh, yes. You know, what on earth? If you're going to do that, at least get rid of the evidence, you know. You can't say, no, I haven't, when actually the evidence is all around that you have. Oh. Anyway, you know, she's not bothered at all. She thinks it's fine. So these are my brown historical buildings labels. Okie dokie, so just take that down like that. I don't know whether this is going to go or not, but I just thought it might look okay. Going to ink up the edge. Okay. So we'll just ink up the edge of this. And then that would, you know, will tie in that brown. Because this is a very pale blue colour, this header piece. Okay. I don't know whether that label is a little bit big for there, to be honest. Let me just see whether I've got a slightly smaller one. Oh, that one's slightly smaller. This might be too small now, but we'll just try it. It maybe doesn't even need a label at all, but I thought perhaps it would look nice with a label. So, like that. Okay, let's just try this now. Oh, that looks pretty, doesn't it? And then we've got a couple of words from the Country Cottages kit as well. So let's just take this here. It just says notes. This might be too small, but we'll give it a try. Oh, my son's just been spraying his, like, you know, deodorant stuff. It smells lovely, really lovely. Don't know what it is, but yeah. I can smell it because he's obviously getting ready for work now, and yeah, it's just drifting into here. Smells lovely. Oops. Oh, now pinged that over across the rim. Hold on 2 seconds. Oops. Oh, come on. Right. Grab that back out. Yeah. So I'm just going to glue this down. Hold on. Come on, now I'm having glue issues. Oh, sorry, I just had to click that low battery, you know, notification off again. I think I'm on very limited time now, so going to have to do this in a little bit of a hurry, so I apologise for that. It's kind of like, you know, wanting to go off, I think. So quickly pop this down here. I'm just going to hot glue the cottage on. Sorry about that. I just wanted to catch my son before he went to work to say goodbye because I won't see him later. and too late. I stopped the video and he was already in his van and pulling out. So yeah, I missed him. Oh, after all that. Oh well, I will, you know, FaceTime him. Right, okay. Just going to cut this down slightly smaller, because otherwise it still looks a little bit on the big side for this piece. So just take that down a fraction. Oops. Yeah, it is raining now, so I thought it was only a matter of time before it would be, but yeah, not a nice day. There we go. Okay, so that is that. I have got a couple of butterflies here actually, so I'm just going to add just a butterfly on here as well, just as a last little bit. Brown one. Yeah. Right, let me put my glasses on. So this is the Fussy Cuts page from the Country Cottages, and you know, you get this in large, you know, format, and this is like half size. You get a page where it's like shrunk down by 50%. So yeah, this is the 50% page, which for me, this is quite tiny because I tend to like bigger things really. But yeah, for this type of project, these, you know, in half size are kind of ideal, aren't they? Because, you know, otherwise things are going to be too big. There we go. Yay! How cute is that? So yeah, I'm so sorry that it's had to be a bit of a short one today. Like I say, very annoying. I hadn't realised that my phone was not charging overnight. But that is your paperclip there. So really cute. Obviously then your little flippy pad there to be journaling on is on the back. So I hope that you like them. Like I say, totally not my, you know, my idea or anything. But yeah, they're very fun to make, and, you know, quite a good way to use up some scraps, because obviously these, you know, do not take up very big bits of paper. So I hope you like them, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much then. Bye.